Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So here's my official review for episode 9 of The Walking Dead. This is going to contain spoilers, so I'm just going to warn you now. This will contain spoilers for episode 9 titled No Other Way. Man, such a phenomenal episode from beginning to end. Really, really great. I mean, if I can make my review that simple, I would. I was just blown away by how great this episode was. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it to be that great. So let's get into that. So obviously, if you are new here, make sure to be a subscriber if you want more Walking Dead content like this. And for everybody who joined us on Twitch, I was sort of live reacting to the episode. You guys can hear me react to everything. And yeah, it was, first of all, thank you guys for joining. We were on there for a while. We played Phasmophobia, which is like a ghost hunting game that was so much fun. And yeah, a lot of you guys are there, so I hope to see you guys there this weekend. If you guys want to join my Twitch, it's just Appetite for the Dead. The link should be down below. But without further ado, let's actually get into this episode here. So this episode was, I will say that's the one thing that there's actually only one downside to this episode. And again, I have to clarify that this will contain spoilers, so I hope you guys are all aware that this video will contain spoilers, because I don't want people getting mad at me for spoiling things, but this is literally the point of the view. I have just watched the episode. It is now officially out there in the world, so I am talking about it. If you don't want to check this video out, just watch it next Sunday when it releases on cable as well. But I really want to talk about it here. So the only downside I will say is sort of the reunion between Connie and Daryl. And the only reason why I will say it's a downside is, I mean, there's only one little aspect to it that I think could have been done a little bit better. And that was basically Daryl sort of realizing, holy shit, you're alive, right? I think when the moment happened, he didn't really seem like he was that, I mean, he seemed happy, but not like, holy shit, like running to her. Like if you remember in season 5, episode 1, at the very end, when Daryl found out that Carol was there, he kind of started crying a little bit, and he ran right up to her and hugged her, and he wouldn't let her go. It was nothing like that here. Daryl just kind of he's kind of laughing. He's like, oh shit, hey, how's it going? And he patted her on the back. That's basically how the scene went. Yes, afterwards it seemed like they were getting along, but it does not seem like there's a relationship there though. And I think that people who want them two together are going to be kind of upset about that. We'll see where they go, obviously, in the next episode, because there's a big time jump at the end, and we'll talk about that. So maybe things have changed over the next 6 months. But like he says, he has so many questions for her and this and that. But I kind of have that bad feeling. And again, we'll find out in 10. But I have that bad feeling that they're doing the same thing here with Connie and Daryl that they did with Carol and Daryl years and years ago, which is like this sort of tease something there a little bit. You can kind of see it. And then they're just really great friends. So the story picks up with Maggie and her group. They're at the Reaper base. Obviously, they're under attack. And they actually make it out pretty fast. And the pacing in this episode was really well done. So much happens. So much happens in this episode. Somehow, it was all evenly spread out and it didn't feel rushed. I don't know how the hell they did it. I honestly don't know how they did it. But that's the one thing I'm blown away by. Think of how much happened in this episode. And nothing felt rushed at all. Yeah, scenes were a bit faster. They didn't build up to certain moments, but everything got sort of its fair share. And, I think a part of that too is maybe because we just wanted the Reaper arc to be over. So the fact that they kind of went through that a little bit quicker, but also still serviced that plot and that story, because it still was the big part of the episode. I think it just sort of overall worked, and they kind of mixed that in with some other stuff too. And yeah, the main storyline coming out of Alexandria, obviously, is that Judith and Gracie are missing. And so we see a lot of that. Aaron does some really cool stuff there in terms of saving Gracie and Aaron, saving Gracie and Judith. Gracie doesn't die, which, I mean, yeah, makes sense. I mean, I kind of already knew that over the last week because I've been seeing some stuff with her. But Gabriel, I will say, is a badass. Holy shit. If there's one moment in this episode that was the ending is a big highlight, but, the second moment would be the Gabriel scene. And that could have been just me, but I wasn't expecting it. I totally forgot that Gabriel was around. I thought Gabriel was going to save them from that firework weapon or whatever, earlier, but no, they're in that showdown or whatever. And then Gabriel took out Jensen, I guess one of the Reapers that had the sniper. And now Gabriel had the sniper. And I was like, holy shit. And there's just that really cool shot because there's all that blood in his face. Oh my God. Gabriel has just become such a badass. That whole scene there with him and the priest really well done. That Reaper priest was like, what, you don't hear God anymore? And Gabriel just seems so like what, but you do? And he seems so stunned at that, but also like, I sort of, I'm following my own way now. And yeah, Gabriel's, I mean, I don't know. He's basically kind of lost his faith at this point. He's a dangerous person to be around. Luckily, he's on our side, but he's definitely really dangerous to be around at this point because he'll kind of do whatever. He seems innocent. You think, oh, he's a priest, this and that. He's a good man, but Gabriel's a little different right now. He's changed quite a bit from who he used to be. But again, really amazing scene. If there was a badass moment of the episode, it's when he had the sniper and he shot on the ground and he was like, Jensen's not around anymore. And just that whole thing there with the music, the build up there, such a just really great scene. And also the music and camera work during that scene when Maggie just decides to kill all the Reapers. Because basically after this, they're like, you know what? You guys can just go. We want you guys to head up north, leave Carver here, and everything's going to be cool, all right? Because Daryl wanted that. Daryl wanted Leah and them to leave. And then Maggie and Elijah didn't want that. Maggie and Elijah were like, no, we came so far. They took everything. That they destroyed our community. We're not just going to let them walk, which makes sense. But, in that moment, it was just crazy to see Maggie just switch like that. And she was kind of like, screw this shit. And Negan was watching her the whole time. Negan in this scene was sort of just like kind of analyzing how Maggie was going to operate. And basically that scene, I think, confirmed to him that like, shit, you know what? If I stay around here, Maggie's going to kill me at some point because look how she just turned like that. She's definitely very dangerous. I need to stay away. But we'll talk about that in a second. And then Maggie just goes off and kills all of them, which I was actually really surprised by. And the music in this scene was so well done. The camera work here, I think they just had like one camera sort of fallen. It was so well done. It felt so intense, so cool. And Maggie just killed all the Reapers, actually shot Leah. Daryl does say you can go when they meet up, so that's why we're going to see Leah in the future, but holy shit. That was definitely a proper end to the Reaper arc. Just that whole sequence there, that was a lot of fun. I wish we got that on 8. I wish there was something there with Pope. I wish Pope didn't go the way he went. The Reaper arc in general, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it ended really cool, and it was really fun. But yeah, sort of getting to this point, I'm definitely, it'll be hard to rewatch, but still really great scene. And then after this, we do get the reveal that Alden has died. So yeah, really sad. Maggie goes into the church and finds him. We actually see a Reaper there who is also a walker. So basically confirms that Alden didn't go out, like he actually went out fighting. So he took out that Reaper, but he probably just like bled to death still. And he was probably, so it sucks for Alden, but he got out of that. So I'm really happy for him there. But man, like it was just sad to see him as a walker. Like that's the thing. Whenever we do these death predictions and stuff, it's always like you kind of take who the character is and how much they mean to you out of it. And then once you see their death scene, it hits you like this character's gone now. Alden is now gone off the show. Like that is it. He is officially out of the show. It's crazy. Negan then decides to leave after all of that because he's like, screw this shit. I'm not staying here. And pretty crazy decision to actually let him leave. It makes sense though. And that's sort of what I talked about earlier. I said, is he going to be exiled? And I said either that or he just chooses to leave. So it ended up being that. And I'm really excited to see where they're going to go. Because obviously Maggie's going to get reunited with him at some point where we see Negan with a new group. And I'm really wondering if it's a New Frontier. I think it would be crazy if it's a New Frontier. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see there. And I kind of like this because it's sort of a play on what happens in the comic, which is Maggie I think it was Rick. Basically, he was exiled from Alexandria. And then Maggie went to go and search for him. So it was kind of nice. We're still getting this storyline a little bit here. And this basically wraps up the comic material now for Negan though. Like he's coming back right away. Now there's literally nothing left for him to do. Like this was it. And then we get the reunion there at the end, which was really nice. It was so nice. They actually brought food back and everything just felt so really just amazing. Honestly, like it's so nice to have the show back. It's such a great episode. It's such a strong start for part 2. Man, this part is going to be so good. And then the Commonwealth show up. Jerry notices them, and then they actually come in, make this whole speech. And I wasn't expecting to get all of this. Like, I was just so surprised by that. I thought the Commonwealth were going to show up and then just sort of they'd have this standoff here, or maybe like when we saw Eugene running out and being like, no, they're good people, they're good, I'm with them, they're gonna help you. I thought right then it was just gonna end it with this epic thing, like what the hell are you talking about? And then it cuts to black sort of thing. But no, not at all. They actually go in. Eugene does make a little bit of a speech here, and then Lance Hornsby does make a speech and basically offers them the choice of, do you want to join the Commonwealth? We can actually help you. We also have another really interesting offer for you. And then it just kind of, you're looking at all of our characters. They kind of seem a little bit happy, like, whoa, what the hell is this? Like, this is weird. And then they do a weird transition. They did the same transition or transition like this, I should say, in season 9, episode 5, when Rick was gone, when he was taken away in the helicopter. You sort of saw the grass grow, it got greener, and 6 years later, blah, blah, blah. Well, at the end here, Daryl looks over, and then the camera sort of pans over, and then the colors change a little bit, and then we see Maggie at the hilltop, and it's 6 months later, which blew my mind. 6 months, I thought it was several weeks. I thought it was like 3 to 4 or 5 weeks or something. Not 6 months. That's like, how many weeks is 6 months? That's a long time. 26 weeks? Like, that's not just a few weeks. So yeah, crazy time jump. We see Maggie there, and then we see Daryl sort of show up in Commonwealth soldier gear, which was crazy. I do think Daryl's sort of pretending there because Maggie's like, are we really going to do this? And Daryl's like, yeah, we're going to. If this is the way it has to be, basically, it's going to be like this, right? He was kind of acting all tough, like they were going to barge their way through the doors. I think they have something planned there just because of the way Daryl said that. It just kind of sounded like they worked out something beforehand. But anyways, very solid episode. 10 out of 10 from me. Definitely such a great episode. Yeah. So definitely post your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video. I'm going to work on my trailer breakdown for episode 10. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, The Walking Dead is back. Such a big episode. This is my favorite Walking Dead episode since, oh man, at some point in season 10, I think there had to have been a really good episode in season 10. Maybe Alpha's death. That was such a great episode. It's been a while since we've watched something this good, and trust me, when you watch this episode, you will be blown away. It's so fun. The pacing is perfect. So well written. Phenomenal episode. Just so phenomenal. But hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.